Hi, my name is Nurfahani binti Roslan from CAAD 246, which is from Fashion Department, and my metric number is 2021494218. Maghreb means is quote as a starting. If we are to achieve a richer culture, rich in the contrastive value, we must recognize the whole gamut of the human potentialities, and so with a less arbitrary social fabric, one in which each divine human gift will find a fitting place. Have you ever thought what is a fabric manipulation used for? Here's the things, ladies and gentlemen. For your information, making textile manipulation or fabric manipulation is a playing with the fabric to change its appearance, drapes or shape. Usually we want the fabric to become more dimensional, to go from flat to 3D. In fashion design, textile manipulation or fabric manipulation technique create unique details and texture, and also influence the final shapes and silhouette of the garment. Experimental manipulation describes the process by which stitches purposefully change, alter, or influence the independent variable, which are also called treatment variable or factor in an experimental research design. To make it more clearly, in this presentation, I will look forward of three types of fabric manipulation, which are pleating, embroidery, and the last one is a dyeing. So based on my research, I will share the information and let's figure out what it is. First of all, one of the most common fabric manipulation techniques are pleating. Pleats are a fold or doubling of fabrics that is impressed, ironed, or creased into place. Pleats that are swung into a place are called tucks. Ladies and gentlemen, is it you know how the process of pleating? Pleating involves a folded fabric into a different shapes, creating a difference in the volume and texture of the fabric. This is because pleating fabric involves having a mold made up of two pieces of kite that are folded identically so that they can fit together with an outer wrapper to protect the pattern during the heating process. You also need to know the purpose of the pleating beside of the process. Pleats are used to create volume in a garment. The fabric is gathered or folded together, which creates a fuller silhouette. Pleats not only provide an aesthetic function, they are also practical as they allow for freedom of movement and effort within a garment. There are many examples of varieties, but the knife and box pleats are the most common, although they can be an accordion, cartridge, circular, satin, drapes, fluted, fortune, or French. Pleats improve the design of a dress and make any appearance look unique and dressy. It is because it is created by doubling the fabric on itself, producing a fold. Pleats are used to design various clothes such as skirt, sleeve, pants, dresses, jackets, and so much more. In conclusion, pleats technique make one design to various combinations in various ways to yield a different result and texture. Now that I have explained all about the pleating, and allow me to my next point, which is embroidery. Embroidery is the process of embellishing textile with decorative stitching, which is embroidery is the craft of decorative fabric or other materials using a needle to apply a thread or yarn. Embroidery may also incorporate other materials such as birds, bird quill, and sequins. In modern days, embroidery is usually seen on caps, hats, coats, overlays, blankets, dress shirt, denim, dresses, stockings, scarf, and golf shirt. Embroidery is available in a wide variety of thread or yarn color. Hence, Embroidery purpose stands for an ancient form of needlework that has been used worldwide to embellish textile for decorative and communicative purpose. In terms of form and aesthetic, embroidery may add color, texture, richness, and dimension. For example, the basic technique include buttonhole, a blanket stitch, a running stitch, a satin stitch, and a cross stitch. Those stitches remain the fundamental technique of hand embroidery today. Other than that, fabric for embroidery, as a rule, natural woven fabric are usually best for hand embroidery technique. Choose from cotton, wool, linen, or silk for your background and select the appropriate thread count for your technique and threads you are using. Other than that, besides of embroidery and fabric manipulation, they also have other benefit, which is keep your fine motor skills sharp and your mind focused. Hence, embroidery helps many of us to focus on keeping worries and the chaotic thought of our daily life away. It is meditative and has been used as a therapeutic method to improve mental and emotional health. In conclusion, embroidery is a pleasure-inducing pastime that will help you give shapes to your unique ideas and embroidery design. The last one is dyeing. Dyeing is the application of dyes or pigment on textile materials such as fiber, yarns, and fabric with the goal of achieving color with desired color fastness. Dyeing is normally done in a special solution containing dyes and particular chemical material. This dyeing also has a different technique, which is the dyeing of clothes after it is being woven or cleaned is known as a piece dyeing. It is the most common method of dyeing used. The various methods used for this type of dyeing include jet dyeing, jig dyeing, and pad dyeing, and beam dyeing. Like what I said, purpose of dyeing is to apply uniform color to the substrate fiber, yarn, or fabric with the required color fastness. Tie-dye and printing are the method where the color is applied in a localized manner. Some people curious why a lot of people love to wear a dyeing garment. This is because the garment dye process is no shrinkage. If the shirts fits right the first time you put it on, it will fit right for as long as you own it. This is because the fabric has been commercially washed and dried twice. Also, garment dye typically result in a softer feel and richer color. There are many advantages in a garment dyeing over fabric dyeing in the case of solid color, which are garment production and export trade, which are comparatively lower cost of production for any item of any color and shape. Small lots of different items could be produced at lower cost within less time and no possibility of shade variation within the garment. The conclusion: dyeing and printing are the process employed in the conversion of raw textile fibers into a finished goods that add much to the appearance of textile fabric. The last one is dyeing is the application of dyes or pigment on the textile material such as fiber, yarns, and fabric with the goal of achieving color with desired color fastness. Dyeing is normally done in a special solution containing dyes and particular chemical material. This dyeing also has a different technique, which is a dyeing of clothes after it's been woven and is known as a piece of dyeing. It is the most common method of dyeing used. In a nutshell, I would like to stress that fabric manipulation lets you express yourself through your creations. From selecting the patterns and fabric to putting the finishing touches, every aspect of this activity allows you to be a creative while designing your own clothing. It also gives you something to be proud of, as your creations can make you stand out for the rest. In fashion design terms, textile manipulation technique create a unique details and texture, and also influence the finest shape and silhouette of the garment. We also been curious to discover how to achieve different shapes, texture, and looks. It's fascinating to see the flat 2D pieces take a 3D form when you sew them together. Is it amazing, right?